Hi guys, welcome back to another QLOG. I think the last time around we went a little serious with the whole boyfriend nahi bata raha mummy papa ko. So we wanted to do something fun. We found a fun question. What is the best dating advice you have ever been given? Now, it's a strong point. I think I started dating around the time I had puberty, which is ages back. So there are tons of experiences to draw inspiration from, and obviously eons of advice that have been shelled out by men, women, friends, girlfriends, cousins, even my parents. And it would be really unfair to just pick out one piece of advice and call it the best. So, but to keep it relevant to the conversation, the Quora question and answer, I've drawn out three, and they've all got very different approaches, which I think makes them relevant to this topic. So here goes. The first one came from a guy that I've never actually met in person. I've only read about him and read his works. He's called Mr. Neil Strauss, or you might know him by his pseudonym or the name that the papers usually call him by, Style. He's a self-proclaimed pickup artist, which makes him really interesting. And I just had to take his credentials really seriously ever since I found out that this guy has actually picked up Paris Hilton on one of his expeditions. So yeah, I had to take him seriously. What Neil has mentioned is a concept known as peacocking. As the name suggests, this is drawn from a particular behavior that's demonstrated by peacocks. When a male peacock is trying to attract a female peacock, he displays his colorful feathers, that entire range. And that really makes the peacock stand out. Neil believes that peacocking works on humans. So let's say you're part of a decent singles dating scene. You are at a bar or at a party with with enough promise of interesting women showing up. When you enter, you've really got to make an impression that makes you stand out, helps you get noticed. So according to Neil's suggestion for successful peacocking, wear something that stands out, like a flashy jacket or a giant piercing or a visible tattoo, or if you can pull if you can pull it off, a skull cap or a beanie, but make sure it doesn't mess up your hair because that happens quite often. The point is, if you're wearing something that's really flashy, peacocky even, it helps you get noticed faster. And that's the best thing that can happen to you in a singles dating setup, when all that you're really expecting is to get noticed, and it helps you initiate a conversation with all those interesting women that might turn up there. So that's part one. This second piece of advice, next up, I remember this from a college senior, an interesting man, Mr. Shojo Deb, whom I met in my first year of engineering. And that's when all these conversations really happen, right? I believe his exact words were, Roy, पहले 7 दिन भर के भाव दे और फिर पूरा भाव वापस खींच ले. I know that sounds a little mean at the outset, but it doesn't hurt women or you. Allow me to explain. How this works is, let's say you've met this girl, you've started your conversations with her, you're texting, you're speaking like 3-4 times a day. For the first 7 days, shower her with compliments. Give her all the compliments that you can think of. But please remain advised. And actually, let's get over with this disclaimer once and for all. If a girl displays clearly that she's not interested in you, or just conveys this that she thinks you're a creep, or you're stalking her, any of those signs, just back off. Understand that no means no. Don't be that guy. Don't be a jerk. But if she genuinely is interested in you and your problem is that things are moving really, really slow, this tip can actually help you speed things up. How this works is actually fun. So for the first 7 to 10 days, which I think is a reasonable amount of time for you to figure out if the girl is interested in you, shower her with compliments. Pick out anything that you can think of. Maybe it's her DP, her display pic. Compliment her on that. Tell her how beautiful her smile is. The basics, you already know this stuff. But the importance is frequency. Be very frequent with your compliments. And after the first 7 to 10 days, assuming that she's responding to you and she doesn't get offended with your compliments, stop complimenting her quite as much. What I mean to say by that is, let's say if you're talking to her 5 or 6 times a day, bring that down to once a day. If you exchange texts with her 5 to 6 times a day, restrict that to like 2 basic messages. Just hygiene, khana khaya, good night, take care. What happens after this is very interesting. See, what you've done essentially is you've reversed the entire relationship dynamic without even realizing it, and this drives women crazy. To give you an example of how crazy, assume Donald Trump ends up building a wall to keep out the immigrants like he suggested. Your woman will tear that wall down just to understand why you have reduced the frequency of your texting or your compliments. And that gives you enough headspace or enough room to go ahead and respond with a statement like, baby, I didn't know how you were reading into my thoughts. I didn't know if I was forcing my opinions on you. I didn't know if you thought I was creepy. Just be a little, don't mean attention whore, but at the same time, try and leave that headspace. And if she really likes you, this is the part which is going to speed things up for you. She'll be like, no, I love the compliments. I love it because I know that you mean them. And that's your way in. That's your fast forward. And this has worked like 9 out of 10 times for me. I'm not too ashamed to say this. It's brilliant dating advice. Thank you, Shojada. Go for it because it doesn't hurt anybody. So it doesn't hurt the girl if your intentions are good. So that's about it. The third piece of advice comes from a combination of things that people have said. It comes from Eric Siegel, author of Love Story, Nicholas Sparks, man behind A Walk to Remember, and my father. And it's kind of difficult to understand. It takes years and years of experience and John Green level pain to get this in your head. So I'm just going to let this statement hang. If you're really in love with somebody, do not try to own that person. True love is selfless. Accept that. Let that person free. I repeat, you won't understand this if this is your first shot or first attempt at love. But if you really get into the game like deep, you will someday understand this, hopefully. When you're in love, set the person free. And when you're truly able to do that, you will realize that you've come dangerously close to the concept of being in love. And that's when you start really getting into the game. I hope that helps. Thank you. So guys, that was QLOG number 2. We hope it was a little different from what we have seen in QLOG 1. For those who are new to the concept, we at Team Ninjaji are attempting to provide video responses to Quora questions because we think it's a lot more fun to watch a Quora response rather than just read through it. So if you like the concept, please like the video, comment on the video, subscribe to our channel, share the video. Heck, if you're on Quora, please upvote the response. That helps. Share this video on your social media timelines on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. I keep saying that. I don't know why. But you get it. Help us spread the word. And yeah, if you spot any interesting questions that you see on Quora that you think I am qualified enough to answer, or if you just, for the heck of it, want me to answer, post them in comments as well. And I'm going to try and attempt to answer them, I guess. That's about it. This is Shomprakash signing off on behalf of Ninjaji. Bye-bye.